It's a little better. All right. So, I had the old I have a 2002 350, and so I had the old problem where the door locks wouldn't work, the security, the key fob wouldn't work. It would tell me the doors open all the time, lights wouldn't come on, it wouldn't shut off the headlights. The stereo wouldn't go off for 30 minutes. That's all. If you're between 2002 to 2006, I think it is, um, all that is being controlled by a vehicle security module. That's a VSM. In the book, they call it a body security module, and in the fuses, which is fuse 10 and I think 19, which is a 30 amp. No, 19 is the 10 amp, and 10 is the 30 amp. One of those two. And so I had to get that out. The problem is the darn thing is welded.
Commander, you've received a message at your private terminal.
To the firewall, way behind that pole, and so there's no way to get to the darn thing. So basically, I had to remove the top dash, and you can watch some two YouTube videos on that. But basically, it's just a pop out, and unplug your cigarette lighter and your four-wheel drive, and you can pop out the lights, the light control module. And so then I had access to here. I could see it, and I at least can get the numbers off of it, but there was no way I was getting it out. So I tried underneath for 10 minutes. I tried through the stereo entrance, and unless I had Oompa Loompa hands, I wasn't going to get that thing out. So I went for the bottom dash. Now this is pretty easy. You got 1, 2, 3 across. You had 2 bolts at the bottom, 2 bolts at the tray for your cup holder, and then you got to pull the cup holder out and go from underneath where this stupid hook is. I wish somebody would tell me what the heck it is. Where is the darn thing? This thing. I wish somebody would tell me what this is. The hook for. Why is there a hook on my dashboard? Somebody tell me what the purpose of this is, please. I'm not hanging laundry from there. And it's too short to hang a shirt when it's down there. I don't know, cords? A route of cord? Somebody please tell me what this is, why there's a hook here for. Oh, good. My lights went out. Let's turn this back on. Hey, as you can tell, I got and you can see I have the new security module. So mine would work for about 24 hours, and then it would stop working. The one that was against the firewall. And the important information is this 2C7T 15K 602AG. That's the programming that's inside these. They're all the same, but they all have different firmware loaded into them that tells it what things you have in your car and your truck. Excuse me. And so when you buy one, there's a couple companies that sell refurbished. You can't get them new. They don't exist. They haven't made them. So I guess these guys buy them, get them out of junkyards or whatever, and then they'll throw the programming in it. So they got the same unit for me. You can tell it's the same unit, but it had a different, mine's an AG. This one was probably an AE or something like that. So they upgraded the firmware in it to match mine. Now, I tried all sorts of stuff, wires and everything, but clearly the control unit has been corrupted or something has happened to it. So I'm going to pop this open. I'm going to take a quick look. Since it would only run for about 24 hours, I'm thinking that as it starts to heat up, something's breaking down, and I'm going to start with the 5-volt regulator that's inside of it. I know in the dash up above, this has problems, and it would get darker and darker and darker. It was because the resistors weren't soldered properly to the board, and so if you resolder the resistors, everything would work. So I'm assuming, and this is before they made everything in China, so this is made in Mexico. Thought it said Canada also. Yeah, I don't know if it's designed in Canada and made, but it's made in Mexico, assembled in Mexico. And I guess that's where they had a lot of stuff made in the 2000s. So I'm gonna pop it open and see if I can find some cold solder joints. I may just heat it all up. Now, if you notice, I haven't remounted the new one to the firewall yet. And the reason is I want to do a little testing, see if I can get this one to work. And so I can plug it in and test it and see if I can get this to last more than 24 hours. And if I can, then I'm going to keep this as a spare. If I can't, and I can get this working, the same guy I bought this from will fix this one for 180 bucks. But with all my electronics background, I think I have a 50-50 chance. The problem is I don't have any ability to program it. But I don't think it's a firmware problem, because it does work. So the code is working. But the electronics are breaking down, and I think that the voltage is breaking down inside, and if it's getting less than the 12 volts, or and then through the regulator, which is 5 volts, it's not going to perform. It's not going to work, and everything's going to shut down. It'll get wonky. And this is the what they call the possessed module, because you know, your door locks will start jumping up and down all by themselves, and lights will go off and on by themselves, and weird stuff happens, and it's inside this that causes the possessed having a possessed vehicle. So, and that would happen if you start having a breakdown on voltage. So I'm going to take a quick look at it. If I can't, I think I'll pay the 180 bucks, have it fixed, and then take out the new one, put this one back, and then keep that one as a spare, because it's only going to get harder to get these modules. So I think it'd be smarter of me to keep a spare. So 10 years from now, 15 years from now, 20 years from now, I can plug it in. Hopefully it'll last that long. Somebody tell me what those hook is for. I'm really cranky about it. It goes down here, and I can't for the life of me figure out. I had this in my other truck, my other 350, and I never understood what it was for. I could not figure it out. At a total loss. It bugs the crap out of me. So I got everything all torn up here, and I just get it. And then I have the drive shaft out from underneath, because I got a pinion link, and I got that started painting, and that's looking good. But in the meantime, we'll go from this. I'm having a special security module installed from Revelco Thursday, and so this will make it easier for them to access everything. So I'm going to leave it all open so they can come in, and it's a cap that some of the wiring goes through, and so you've got to put this cap into the plug. It's like an 18-pin plug, and you plug it in, and then it activates the circuits. It lets all the circuits work. So I've got to find a place to plug that in. I think I'll plug it in over here on the left to have it, and then you pop that out, and it'll you pop it out, and that will let you have access. That'll fix, or should I say complete the circuits, so you can shut off your relay for starter and your key ignition, all sorts of stuff. So without that plug-in, the circuits are basically all the wires are cut. And when you plug in the cap, the security module, it connects all of the cut wires back together. It's kind of an interesting concept. And it's not cheap. It's like $600. And it's not like there's any electronics to it. But it does help. I've seen many videos where the guys just break in and try to take the vehicles being stopped by this because it just won't start. It's simple as that. You can't drive off with the truck if it won't start. And if it's not, you're not gonna have time to sit there and figure it out because somebody's gonna come out with a shotgun. I keep an infrared wireless control module in mine, so when it detects motion, it'll turn red. There it goes. It'll turn red. There, it went off. It'll do it every few seconds. There. So I just keep that right on the dash, and I get an alert inside, and I'm coming out. With a bad attitude. If you're sitting in my car and you set that off, if you're sitting in my truck and you set that off, I'm going to be very upset. To be frank. So anyway, so that's how you get in there. Once this is broken open, and pull off the top dash, pull off the center dash. You have all the room you need to get to the module. Keep in mind, one side is a slip through and one is not, so you do have to take the nut off on this side because they hang it upside down. In the earlier models it was this way, but they hang it upside down now in 2002 to 2006 against a firewall, and so you have to take this nut off the firewall bolt. This one you only have to like loosen up about halfway because you have to slip this over, and it's a real long bolt, and then you can yank it out this way, so it goes in and down, up and down. So you can slide that under the nut, get this over the bolt, and then lock it back in place and plug in all your wiring. Don't forget which one goes into where. It goes it goes gray, green, blue. Gray, green, blue, and it's upside down, so it's gray, green. Put this here. It goes gray, green, and blue. The blue one only has one wire on it, and it's probably a voltage wire or something. That's what I'm thinking. So next up, I'm gonna pop this open and see if I can see anything obvious with it. All right, guys. Thanks. I'll talk to you again. Buy some electronium. All right.